Some people say that this year has gone by quickly. I feel like it, I never thought I would see this day. However, 2025, in my humble opinion, really did not start until January 20th of 2025 because until then I was holding my breath that they were going to try to stop President Trump from being inaugurated.
Right.
And once he was inaugurated, I know that, like many people, I breathe a huge sigh of relief. I am disheartened, however, to see some people saying, well, he didn't do this and he hasn't. Let me tell you something. From what I have seen, from the fraud that's been uncovered, from the crimes that we know about that have happened to this country and in this country due to the Democrats' corruption and the globalists trying to kill us all, I mean, I am so happy that man is president that I don't know what to do.
I mean, let's look back just a minute. This Democrat corruption started with the Clintons. Then it went to Obama. Then the only reason it wasn't, another Democrat was some miracle and Trump swished in and became president. Well, of course, they killed that off when they tried to get reelected, but that's only made him stronger. And now he's back in again, and he is not going to miss his opportunity this time. He's going to clean house.
That's right. And if any of you had the opportunity to watch the video that Bill put up last night, that came from the White House. And that, to me, was a very stark, almost warning to
It was a warning.
The enemy.
It was a warning, and it was also trying to encourage us that, yes, we're coming. We're about to do it. We just want to be sure that we round up a sufficient number so they don't come back real soon.
And I think also, too, one of the things at play in all of this is the public needs to have their eyes opened as to the depth of the corruption of the what we call the globalists, because sometimes people think, well, they didn't do. Let me say this. I've seen a lot of people referring to the Somali situation we find ourselves in as Obama's Trojan horse, because he's the one that got them all in here. And now we're discovering it's not just Minnesota. It's many other states are also having fraud to the tune of billions of dollars. $11 billion, they're saying, and it could go even higher with all of the fraud of the people in Somalia. And so they are working on denaturalization for them and deporting them. And I was telling Bill, I said, can you imagine what would have happened if Kamala had become president? This fraud would be continuing, and it would be exponential. We would all be caught up in it in some way or fashion, And here's the thing too, Bill, the media has always been skewed. I've never seen the media so wanting to defend illegality and criminality and criminals who are doing bad things in this country. It's what the heck? It took an individual person named Nick Cerule with a cell phone to uncover the child care fraud in Minnesota, and went to that. They can't even spell. It was supposed to be, I'm guessing it was supposed to be Learning Center. We're not even really sure if they misspelled learning or if they actually misspelled leering. Maybe it was supposed to be a leering center, but it had leering, Learing. No learning about it. It was a learning center, and he went to film it. And
so they're having these places get federal funds, but there's nothing going on in this address. There's their phone number. The phone number doesn't answer.
Right.
It's just a total thinly disguised fraud, and they're letting them get away with it to the tune of billions of dollars. I mean,
billions of dollars. And then now other journalists with their cell phones have gone to some of these other centers and exposed them. And the media, not all of the media, Fox News, verified that the phones didn't work, and they sent their crews out to some of these centers. But the rest of the media, CNN et al., are defending the fraudsters. I mean, they are saying things. One of the pundits said, well, those people in the daycare centers have every right to shoot these reporters who are trespassing on their land. Well, one of the reporters was yelling, I want to register my son here. How can I register my son? And they're just yelling, go away, we're closed. And it's like the news media is defending them to the tune of saying their operating hours are from 2 to 2:15 in the afternoon, because that's when parents most need daycare, between 2 and 2:15. I mean,
don't be late or we'll close the door and lock it.
That's right. Don't be late. And you got to pick them up by 2:15. So, I mean, it is just ridiculous on its face, but it's just one more level. Now, in the good news is that the HHS has frozen the funds to Minnesota daycare, however the funding works, so that while they investigate the situation. But
it's already metastasized, I guarantee you. It's probably in every state to some extent.
I would think so. And right now they're looking into Washington State, because they have reports of fraudulent, daycares there. And it's just funny in a way to see the media fall all over themselves trying to defend some of this illegality. And then they're deporting these people. And Whoopi Goldberg on The View is saying, they're going to deport all of us. They're going to come and deport us for no reason. And I'm thinking, wish they could. Whoopi, I'd love to see you deported.
Okay, comments. Beth, I just came here to leering what your opinions are. Oh, good. You're learning to speak Somali.
That must be the Somali
Or
language.
RC says, the issue with most people is they are lost, ignorant by choice, have no opinion of fact other than self-concern. The adults are baffled as to why, but we know the systems are corrupted. Another Scrappy says, Washington State and Ohio have the same thing happen. Oh, really? It's going on in Ohio.
Ohio, I didn't know, but I'm not. I guess I should be surprised.
That's my native state.
Yeah, I know. What happened?
You moved. Yeah, that's it. It doesn't have my benign influence anymore.
That's right. Well, yeah. I mean, this is just the most, I don't know. It keeps getting stranger and stranger and stranger every time we move on. It's like they're always defending the indefensible. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But this has been going on, and this is something that people do need to wake up about. And I agree. Most people are just ignorant. They have their head in the sand or whatever, and they don't see what's right in front of their faces.
Scrappy says Ohio has a large Somali population. I did not know that.
I would not be at all surprised to find out that every state has some large and the thing that they're saying is it's racist. You're going after them, but no, as Pam Bondi pointed out, I think 98 people were arrested in one of these fraud schemes, and 85 of them were Somalis. So it doesn't seem like they are.
Yeah, I'll bet you there's a whole bunch of them in J.D. Vance's home district.
I bet there are. I mean, and we got to address this as fast as they can. And people can cry all they want. They can cry me a river if they want to. I don't care. We were talking earlier, President Trump, at least we know this administration will do something. They are cutting their funding. Can you imagine what would have happened, as I said earlier, if Kamala had been president? They wouldn't be cutting their funding. They would be increasing their funding. They would, instead of getting, $10,000 a month, they would, let's give you $20,000 a month or whatever.
Commenter.
Yeah.
Bill and Beth are my YouTube grandparents, says Z Grove. I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
They recently discovered that person, Audrey, who committed the Valdi, you know what I'm talking about, the shooting in the elementary school. The name just went out of my head. Anyway, that she purchased her guns with student aid, with financial aid that she received for going to school. I mean, she was transgender, but she was a she. She was actually a she. So
Beth says, "Hey, I'm in California, third and fourth generation. I'm a fourth generation Californian too. I'm watching it happen here with the homeless on a level that makes what's going on in Little Somalia look like a dime novel." Yeah, it's just the last time I drove through downtown LA, I just couldn't believe it. It was like a sale on tents along the sidewalks. Get your tent right here.
And when Gavin Newsom was campaigning, he promised that he was going to address that. Of course, he didn't, and we knew he wouldn't.
Of course, he gave away free tents.
That's right.
That's how he addressed it.
That's right. Well, I wanted to move over to Venezuela because I've had a lot of people are confused about the war powers, and they're making comments that President Trump has no right to bomb the Venezuela boat. Yes, he does. And we don't need to go into the details of it. And people are saying without Congress's approval, Congress declares war. That's Congress declares war. The president can and should protect us when it's a matter of national security, and it is. And, he has every right to do it, A, and B, every single president has bombed someplace, or another.
This is a commenter on a key Supreme Court case. The Constitution does not grant the president unilateral power to declare or initiate war. That rests with Congress.
Right.
However, the commander-in-chief role allows the president to conduct military operations,
right,
especially defensive ones, and has been interpreted broadly in practice for limited actions without formal declaration. In other words, common sense.
That's
People
right.
are trying to kill our country. We can go get them.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. And we have not declared war. President Trump has not declared war. And he is protecting his citizens, which is absolutely his right to do. And I just get
and
tired.
Would be impeached legitimately if he didn't.
And another point that I'd like to make is people are saying, well, he's not given them due process. He doesn't have to. They're not Americans. Americans get due process.
Because we have a constitution that says so.
That's right. And that's what Gitmo's for. Right. That's what's known as an enemy combatant. They are coming after us to harm us. And so, yes, he will protect us, which unfortunately, most of our lawmakers are not doing. Because I read this headline and it turned me on my head. You hear this term all the time. You don't think about it. A career criminal. What is a career criminal? How do you get that job? Do you apply for that job? Career criminals, brought to you by a broken judicial system. A career criminal with 50 prior arrests, 40 convictions, murdered a man with a machete in Waterbury, Connecticut on Saturday evening. A career criminal. What that means is this guy was convicted 40 times and let out of jail.
That was 4 days ago.
Yeah. But he was, yes. But how do we even have career criminals? It doesn't even make sense. But some judge let him out. Somebody got him off. Who knows? And now he's killed a man. I'm tired of seeing these people who have 40 convictions and 72 convictions. At some point, these people should be locked up for life. I don't care. I'm sorry. What happened to 3 strikes and you're out? Where'd that go? That went out the window.
No, you can't hurt them. You must give them relief.
Yes. If that's not bad enough, in Oregon, a convicted murderer who was sentenced to life without parole, but now Kate Brown, the former governor of Oregon, granted him clemency, and he has been appointed to the police review board.
He's now a member of the police review board.
Right.
Even though he was sentenced to life without parole.
Yeah.
What a gig.
He was sentenced in 1994 for executing a 19-year-old named Nikki Thrasher and received a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Now, it doesn't say that they had found that he was actually innocent or anything else. It just says she granted him clemency, and he was appointed to the police review board.
Yep, Happy Cat wants in.
Joy wants out.
Okay, we're going to do some animal switcheroos here. Okay, come on, Joy.
That's what happens when you have 3 dogs and 3 cats. In 2025, we acquired Joy, our border collie, which was the best part of 2025.
Happy end. Joy says, I'm going to follow Happy Cat.
Yeah. So it's always interesting in our, but one of the things that we wanted to make, this is the end of this year. This is, of course, our last News at Noonish for 2025. And I'll be honest, 2025, I'm going to just throw it away and look forward to what we have happening in 2026, which should be really good things. But I do think that we should all be aware of the fact that, there are people in our own government who have been funding some of the terrorism that happens in our own government. But speaking of terrorists and terrorism and people who are knowledgeable of such things, I was actually heartened to see the Iranians rising up again, crying out for freedom this time. This happened when Obama was president. And one of the hardest things for me, hard to swallow, I guess, was the fact that Obama did nothing to help them. They are crying for freedom. They want to be a free people. And you actually personally talk to them. And when you talk to them, they would say things to us like, where's America? Why is America not supporting us? And that was one of the most difficult things for me to see.
We were right in the middle of that first uprising. In fact, they even offered to pay our way there, Beth and I, to speak in Iran on behalf of the Iranian people, all expenses paid. And we talked about it. We put it out to our audience. They said, don't, Bill, you won't come back. Right. And so we chickened out. But now already there was film on TV last night. These guys, the Iranian mullahs or whatever, are just shooting people in the street. Just if you protest.
And this is something that I have absolute faith that President Trump will do the right thing about. He will do whatever he needs to do to help the people be free. And sometimes people get upset and say, well, that's not America first. Why not? Doesn't it help America to have Iran not be the leading sponsor of terrorism?
Well, when President Trump was sending his bombers over to destroy their nuclear facilities, they got in a little discussion. This came out last week, where Trump said, gave the exact coordinates of where they were sitting right there. We know exactly where we could take you out if we wanted to, but we're going to give you a break.
That's right. Free people anywhere help or is a good thing for people everywhere. I think any people, and I'm praying for the Iranians. But I know this time we have a president who will do whatever, do something about it, because that's just horrible.
Can you imagine how many urgent things he has on his plate every day that he's got to have meetings about, got to call in experts and listen to them, make a decision, life and death decisions every day?
I mean, really. But that's one of the things that video, to me, what that video said to me was, they're doing stuff. They're doing stuff that we don't know anything about. They're addressing situations. It was very military and strong, and hold the line, and and I loved it because of what in the video Bill put up. You can't hear it, I guess, but that guy says, "On my signal, unleash hell," And
yeah, I had to cut the audio
yeah.
track.
Yeah,
But
and then
you
you
get
see,
the idea.
yeah, but then you see President Trump walking with by the some military personnel, and he does the fist, thing, and I like it. I like that kind of strength. I like that sort of feeling of I'll protect you. We're doing stuff. Stuff is going to happen. Look forward to 2026. And I believe that 2026, I hate to say this because it sounds so sappy, is the year of the fix.
Nothing sappy about that.
I
That's what we're all praying
I
for.
believe that we're going to see the arrests that we have been asking for. I believe we're going to see things, and I believe some things are going to be uncovered. It says in the Bible that everything that is in the darkness is going to come out, and I believe we're going to see a lot more of that. We're going to see a lot of stuff that we didn't know was happening that is happening.
Coffum Dano, says Ted the Turbot.
That's right. That's exactly what I do absolutely believe.
Scrappy says President Trump is definitely not an isolationist, so let's hope he'll try to do whatever he can to help out the Iranian people. Right. We don't want to bomb the Iranian people. We want to get the mullahs that have been in office, took control during the Carter administration.
We were talking about Sharia law earlier yesterday, and I remember people have posted pictures, and I remember this, of Iran before I always want to call him the wrong name, before Khomeini took over, right? And the women were dressed in normal, what you would call Western dress. They weren't wearing hijabs. They weren't, they were.
Iran was always a model of Western society in the East. And the people of Iran just want to be like Americans. They just want to have a regular life where the young people want to wear blue jeans and, be like us. We're an advanced civilization, and they know it.
Yes, and that was the cry. Bill was regularly called on an Iranian radio station. We never did know how they got away with that, but they would interview him.
I don't think they got away with it because the telephone numbers that I had for them have now gone dark.
Oh, well. Oh, okay. And he was interviewed by them, and so you kind of got to know them a little bit. And yeah, they did want to send you over there for free, but gosh, that was.
They wanted you to go too. They're going to pay for you.
Yes. No, but you're right. We didn't. Obama was president then.
Who's going to protect us?
That's exactly what we said.
Obama'd be right on the horn giving our coordinates.
That's right. That's exactly. You're right. And I do think people are waking up to that. Carol Swain was on the news last night talking about one of those rankings that they did of presidents. And they only ranked 42 presidents. They didn't rank President Trump because he's still president. So they can't rank a sitting president. It just didn't make sense. And a couple of others who weren't in office for very long didn't, they were assassinated or whatever. But so out of 42 presidents, Obama came in 38th, which means the 38, 42 is the worst. So
how did he escape not being the worst?
I think Biden,
someone who's being polite.
Carter and Biden were ahead of him.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely give Obama the number one worst position.
Well, I would too, but I'm guessing that there were a couple of people that they may have thought were worse. So I think, are there any more comments that we need to address?
RC says the Joe public of most groups are not the issue. The leaders are most just want work, family, food, shelter. The narrative is the issue. The Tehran conference happened in 1943. Iran was a diplomatic leader back then. Says Scrappy.
Yeah.
It was an advanced civilization in the Middle East for the Middle East, and that's why they wanted to take it out. That's why they put the mullahs in, and Obama at any time could have set them back and he failed to do it.
Well, that's because we now know his agenda, and
Right.
sometimes we would get messages from people, not just Iranians, but other people who would say, "Where's America? Why are you not helping us?" And I always wanted to make it very clear, if I had my choice, we would be. If we had the ability, we would be. But we didn't, so we couldn't. But I want to, unless there's another comment that you think is, I would like to end this year by saying to our faithful fans, thank you. We started doing these live streams just a couple of months ago. Bill had an inspiration and decided that we should do this, and we have tried very hard. We've had every possible scenario go wrong with our computers and internet and everything else.
Really?
But we have stuck with it, and we greatly appreciate you all sticking with us. And we will continue. Tomorrow we will have News at Noonish for the new year, the first one of the new year. And we are trying to make maybe some improvements or adjustments to the show. And again, we just want to say thank you.
You're going to get rid of me?
Now y'all see why I laugh so much. No,
oh, Bill, you're so hilarious.
No, I'm not going to get rid of you. But in any case, we have thoroughly enjoyed it. We greatly appreciate your faithfulness and not giving up on us. And we wish you all have a very happy new year. And as a mom, as a grandmother, please be careful. If you're going out tonight to have fun, but please be careful and stay alive. And that's all.
Staying alive.
No, we're not the Bee Gees. In any case, happy New Year's Eve. Happy New Year. God bless President Trump. God bless the United States of America. God bless the freedom-loving Iranians. And God bless all of you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. What happened to our mouse?